Does having schizophrenia make one more spiritual? Is it the result of being more spiritual? Are you naturally inclined towards spirituality because of how you were born? The answer is complicated, and really it leads into a whole nother discussion. Schizophrenia, I'm sure some of the time, if not more than half, is purely chemical and neurotic. Uh, and that deals with your neurons, if that's a proper application of that word. But you get the idea. Um, I'm sure that most of the time, it has no spiritual application depending on the disorders and the extent of your schizophrenia. Because there's a bunch of disorders schizophrenia can cause you to have. And a lot of these disorders really don't help you out spiritually at all. I mean, a lot of them are like OCD, randomly hallucinate, but that could be spiritual if it does end up being some force in the universe. Um, you can have a need to a feeling that you should hurt yourself. That's not spiritual at all, though it might lead to spiritual understanding. You might not be able to sleep like me. I'm a schizophrenic. I can't sleep naturally. I just can't. And I take meds for that. And you might have mood disorders that just send your emotions everywhere. And I also have a mood disorder. My moods are everywhere if I don't take my meds. And my emotions skyrocket and dip like crazy. And those just aren't spiritual. But there are certain theories, this is why I bring it up, that the things that schizophrenics and other people who have not psychological but chemical and biological disorders in their brain see a world or a layer of this reality that other people don't. That we see the activity of what's going on beneath the surface of this world in reality, in the fabric of reality, whereas other people don't, unless they endeavor to or have some sort of spiritual inclination for another reason. But it's a very fine line. A lot of hallucinations, I believe, the vast majority simply are hallucinations. Your mind playing with your understanding, with your vision, with your hearing, with your sense of balance. Just and it's a terrible feeling too. And I've all my past hallucinations, almost all of them, I do believe it was just because of imbalance. But that there are a few that I felt that were real. Now, I don't just mean because I saw them, because I heard them and things like that, but they felt like they were significant in a way that the other hallucinations were not. Like, like when I was in rehab slash psych ward, I saw a whole bunch of dead people walking around when I was in my room, and a guy hanging in the shower, and it seemed very pertinent to the environment. Let's put it that way. Now, I don't really know if that was me seeing people that have passed through there or not, or people that have killed themselves there, though that has happened there. But I'm not sure about that. I can't really make a definitive or give it a definitive answer on that. So I don't make it a part of saying, oh, I saw dead people here. I don't say that to people because I'm not sure if I was seeing another layer of reality, or if I was seeing the past to the future, the present in another phase of existence, a phase of being that's just a little out of phase with our own. But now you might be inclined, not necessarily by the biology of it, schizophrenia. You may be inclined as schizophrenic to seek deeper meaning because the meaning in this world seems so baseless and shallow and just not right to you. And that's how it was for me. I sought spiritual guidance in all the different religions and eventually found Hinduism before I was really happy with an explanation. And I needed that explanation for all that is. I needed one that explained everything. And Hinduism did that for me. And not just that it gave explanations, but all the explanations made sense. And there's Hindus that believe all different kinds of things. I mean, there's not like one set belief in Hinduism. That's why it survived for so long and why so many different people are part of it, because it doesn't have the dogmatic guidelines and the demands that other religions have. it has many systems working within it that you can participate in or not participate in, and you can still be Hindu. But I sought answers because I was schizophrenic, not necessarily because it made me seek answers. I chose to seek answers because of my condition, but it didn't make me. And so, schizophrenics might be more likely to seek answers, and you might be able to enter a shamanistic state of mind easier because your mind operates differently than this world, and really the spiritual world is above, in, below, around this world, but it's not quite this world. So if you are schizophrenic and you see a layer that other people don't, it could be a real layer that's just below the surface of what we know. Overall, I'd have to say that the vast majority of the time, having schizophrenia isn't going to make you more spiritual. It isn't gonna open doorways for you. But some of the time, it actually can be beneficial, and you can actually see something, or hear something, or know something, or understand something that regular people don't, and you're privy to that because you have that basic brain disorder, basic chemical and biological disorder that's in your brain. I don't understand schizophrenia nearly as much as other people do as far as biology goes, as far as brain chemistry goes. But I do know how I have it and kind of what it does to me and what it does to other people after talking to the schizophrenics and being around them, researching it a bit. But I can't explain the science part of it, but I recognize it and I understand that there is an explanation in science for it that is very valid. But try not to get hung up on if you are supposed to be a shaman or a spiritual person if you're schizophrenic. Choose who you are regardless of your circumstance. Choose to be who you feel you want to be, or who you feel, because we don't always know what we want, who you feel you should be. And you have to make that choice for yourself. Nobody else can do it. So make that choice for yourself if you're schizophrenic. And if you know somebody who's schizophrenic, encourage them to maybe they have something. There's more to it. Maybe they're one of the few, one of the isolated cases where there is a lot more to it. And but at any rate, it should be a choice. It shouldn't be something that you feel you're forced to be. It should be a choice to be who you are. And that's all I really got to say about schizophrenia making one spiritual. But feel free to comment, leave any thoughts you have on this, and I will see you in the future. Have a good one.